We moved to the countryside 15 months ago, November 24, so we're just coming out of our second winter here. Our first was lovely, sunshine, great weather, no issues at all. This one has made us rethink if any of this is worth it. We've had the drains explode from floods and rip up the drive. The rain has halted all our DIY projects. And worst of all, the water has created battered field conditions everywhere. And a couple of weeks ago, things reached a new low. We bought a very expensive field shelter for our sheep. It was properly installed just over there. And after some high winds, it ended up behind me.
And now it's here. We did try and salvage it, but unfortunately it was just too badly damaged. Some bits are going to get repurposed into something, but its days as a field shelter are very much over, which is sad for us and sad for the sheep. And then it wasn't, because Hunter Stables got in touch and offered us an absolutely amazing deal on one of their shelters, as long as we agreed to film them putting it up in horrific conditions. That last bit wasn't actually something they asked for. It's just what I think they're going to get when they arrive later. And it was. This is the Hunter Stables trailer being pulled by my Ford Raptor because their Volkswagen truck did not like the mud at all. Turns out nor did mine, although I did get far enough into the field that we could at least shut the gate and keep Simpson and Bruckheimer from wandering the streets. So with the shelter needing to be all the way up there, it was time to bust out our favourite new toy, a Lonsin quad that in the very few weeks we've had it has already proven to be the most useful bit of winter kit we've got. It goes anywhere, in theory. So the plan was to chuck on the shelter, bit at a time, and haul it up in the rock machinery trailer. Easy. Once it was up the hill, the guys would then leave and return in the morning to build it. Except it wasn't easy. The ground was just too wet. The quad can haul a huge amount of weight, but physics meant it was turning the field into liquid mud, and that was the first trip of about 10 that would be needed. So the guys left, and I instigated plan B. Right, here's the plan. I'm going to use these mud mats that I've got left over from another project to build a road up the field that the quad bike can go up. Got about an hour before it's dark. The guys are gone, they're going to come back in the morning, by which time my road will be built and we can then drive up the road. That's the plan. So as the guys checked themselves into our local B&B, I got building. 7:30 in the morning, the guys from Hunter Stables have just got back and are about to be very impressed with the sort of road thing I've built. If they were impressed, they hid it well. And you may also be thinking that road looks useless, but just because I was living in the city a couple of years ago doesn't mean I don't know a thing or two about hills and mud and stuff. Actually, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it worked anyway. Stuck the quad in four-wheel drive and locked the front diff, put the right-hand wheels on the single track of mats, and it hauled the trailer up without drama. Confident everything would now be fine, we grabbed the guys' tools from their truck and did a couple of trips up the hill with the first sections required for the build. And the guys then got to work. Step one was to construct the metal skids the whole thing will sit on. This shelter needs to be mobile, and these will allow us to hook it to the quad or the tractor and drag it around the field to fresh spots. That addresses the issue of the ground being worn down in front of it, but it also avoids planning problems. A lot of people said we should have put our last shelter on a concrete pad, but anything permanent is not allowed without approval. The plan here is to shift the shelter every few weeks, and the skids will allow that.
And before long, Mark was back taking more sections up the hill, his stupid looking road actually working quite well. And things really started to take shape. You can get shelters like these that are self-built, but the rate that someone works when they're doing this day in, day out is just so much faster. Before long, parts were going up for the roof and it was starting to look like a proper building, which you'd expect because Hunter Stables make all sorts of things and they are all so well put together. If they are good enough for posh horses, this will be good enough for our sheep.
No. Right.
And on go the roof panels. Fueled by their 27th coffee of the day, the guys made the thing waterproof and then fitted the finishing touches like kickboards and guttering. Meanwhile, I flew the drone into a power line, which was very annoying because it was new, having flown the last drone into the stream.
And finished, just the leftover bits to get out the field, and then the tricky part, getting their trailer out as well.
The shelter is built, which means the only challenge left now is to see whether the Raptor will get the trailer back on the road.
The truck was not interested in that job at all, so we took the £3,000 winch on the front of the quad, hooked it to the trailer, and pulled it out backwards. Which worked. We then got the trailer back onto their truck and the guys got on their way. We were super happy with their work. Fast, professional and a serious we would get this done attitude. The only time we had any doubts in their abilities was when they got changed to drive home. Lunatics.
The shelter is built, everything is perfect apart from both differentials locked front and rear, not going anywhere. So the plan is to use the winch on the front of the quad in conjunction with reversing the truck to try and get it out of here. We'll see. The debate now is, does Jen do the winching or driving the truck?
Surely I winch. It's just a button.
We're hoping the winching's the easy part. And again, it worked perfectly. We thought the quad was going to be a bit of a toy here, fun to have but not really needed, yet it's become a daily use item. Couldn't be happier with it, and a full review coming soon because it's one of the things we keep getting asked questions about. And so that was a few days ago, and we are absolutely delighted with this thing. The plan now is to drag it that way out of the mud into a drier spot. We're then going to run some electric down this field and keep the sheep over in the other half where it's a bit drier than it is here, and let this recover. In a couple of months, we'll be able to harrow, seed, roll this, and it'll be back to being lush grass in time for the summer. We're also considering doing a bit of an experiment this year on a bit of the field with some mould drains that we're going to do ourselves. So watch this space to see two idiots digging up their field. Oh, and I should say, when the weather is better and this thing has been moved, we're going to do a proper little review on this, going into the details on the build quality, because it is truly superb. So that coming soon, if you're interested in that. All that's left now is to get the shelter that's behind me that we threw up when the other one blew away, taken down, because that's no longer needed in here. And that's it. Happy us and happy sheep. So Hunter Stables, amazing. Launcin Quad, amazing. And the people that do the washing for the Hunter Stable guys, heroic.